sorry, I'm just going to move. Well, good afternoon, everyone. And let me just say, go USA. That was an awesome win this morning. And congratulations to our United States men and women's hockey teams for bringing home the gold. Particular shout out to anybody who played in Massachusetts, skated in Massachusetts. We had both Fleet and Bruins players playing, and people who have gone to school here and competed. Massachusetts is a great, great hockey state, great hockey town, and we're super, super excited. So I'm sure some are a little bleary-eyed right now because it was an early morning. Maybe some stayed up all night to prep for the game, but super, super exciting. And congratulations to all of our Massachusetts Olympians who will be returning home shortly now that the games are about to wrap. But we're here today to talk about a nor'easter. We've got a serious nor'easter that's bearing down. This is a serious storm. And just at the outset, what I want to say to the public is this is one to take seriously. You'll hear from the team about what's going to happen, but we're going to see snow coming later today. It'll start this evening, and it's really going to go through the day tomorrow, Monday, with some serious accumulation overnight and through the morning Monday. And we'll talk about all of that. But this is a serious storm that's coming through. So whatever you need to do over the next, 8 hours or so, 6 hours or so, make sure you get out and get it done. And our ask and plea, as always, is going to be to please stay off the roads for your safety and for the safety of the folks who are out there trying to clear the roads, keep power on, and keep people safe. I'm joined today by our Secretary of Public Safety, Gina Kwan, MEMA Director, Don Brantley, also Deputy Secretary of Public Safety and Security, Sue Terry, Colonel Jeff Noble of the State Police, Brigadier General Mark Kalin of the Massachusetts National Guard, MBTA General Manager and Interim Transportation Secretary Phil Eng, Undersecretary of Transportation and Highway Administrator Jonathan Gulliver, MBTA Chief Operating Officer Ryan Caholen, Secretary of Energy and Environmental Affairs Rebecca Tepper, DCR Commissioner Nicole LaChapelle and Deputy Commissioner Rob King, Brian Ritzinger, who leads the storm response for the Department of Public Utilities, among other folks who are here. We wanted to provide information about the serious blizzard that is coming our way and some of the conditions that we're going to be dealing with both tonight and through the day tomorrow. First off, I've ordered activation of the State Emergency Operations Center. I've directed all relevant agencies to deploy resources and make preparations. Mass DOT and DCR are pre-positioning equipment and supplies. Our public safety teams are ready, and we're coordinating across agencies and with partners, including municipalities, utility companies, and others, to be ready to support our residents. Here's what we expect. Heavy snowfall is set to begin accumulating around 10 o'clock tonight. It's going to continue through the day tomorrow. It's a strong, long-lasting storm. We expect 12 to 18 inches across much of the state. Greater Boston is likely to see between 18 and 24 inches, 1 to 2 feet of snow in the greater Boston region, but 12 to 18 inches, generally speaking, across the state. Snowfall rates are going to be high. We're going to see accumulations of 2 to 3 inches, particularly overnight and through tomorrow morning, and up to 75 mile per hour gusts on the coast, okay? We also will see tomorrow, Monday, wind chill temperatures in the low teens. So with these factors, we expect to see whiteout conditions, near zero visibility, another reason we want people off the roads. There will be a strong likelihood of power outages and downed trees. The last storm, Fern, a few weeks ago, right? That was a drier snow, a fluffier snow. This is going to be a little wetter, and there's already existing accumulation in places. So unfortunately, we do expect to see power outages and downed trees. There's also going to be a risk of coastal flooding and erosion during high tides tomorrow. Again, I will say it, please stay off the roads. It's really critical for folks to stay off the roads for their safety and for the safety of those who are trying to clear the roads and clear any debris. In terms of formal announcements, I'll make a few right now. First of all, I'm declaring a state of emergency effectively in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. This enables us to respond to conditions. It helps us to deploy necessary resources and to support our residents' safety. Second, I've activated 200 members of the Massachusetts National Guard. They are going to be ready to assist with rescue response, with debris removal, and the like. Third, I'm directing that Monday, tomorrow, is a remote telework day for all non-emergency state employees across executive branch departments. I urge all private employers to do the same. Already, we've seen notice of any number of activities and schools closed tomorrow, of course. But people do need to be off the roads during the duration of this storm. That's what I'm asking the public to do. As I mentioned, snow's going to be heavier, winds are going to be stronger, driving conditions will be worse, and power outages are more likely. So please stay off the roads and give people time. I've talked about this in the past. We got to give people time, especially guys at the driving plows. Keep a distance. If you have to be on the roads, keep a distance from those plows. Let them do their work. Reduce risk to yourself and to the drivers. And know, that every car that gets stranded, runs down, slips, crashes, you are creating burden for our first responders who may need to be deployed elsewhere. And that's part of why we say, stay off the roads, because what you do has a direct impact on everybody else. And this is a time where, first responders and teams need to be able to be out there taking care of the most vulnerable among us. State police troopers will strictly enforce all speed limits and also enforce distracting driving and move over laws, okay? Remember, move over laws, very, very important. So for your own safety, bottom line, stay off the roads. As I said, tomorrow's going to be cold. We're going to see wind chill factors really, really low. Stay indoors, check on your neighbors, check on elderly neighbors and residents, make sure that they have what they need. And we are expecting significant power outages. So if you do lose power, please call 211. Call 211, and you will find out where the nearest warming center is and get assistance getting there. Follow local guidance as well as state guidance. Many municipalities, including Boston, have instituted parking bans. Please get your cars off the streets, okay? Get your cars off the streets now. We've got a few hours to play with. The plows have got to be able to clear. And as you know, we had snowbanks and all accumulate from the last storm. There's already snow on the ground. Make it easier for folks to do what they need to do in terms of snow removal. Get out and get your car to a different location if you can. We'll continue to provide tips and guidance online at mass.gov/snow. And I know that many people have been already out there working hard to prepare for this. They'll continue to be ready for what comes, and we'll continue to keep you posted. I do want to thank all of our DPU workers, plow drivers, first responders, and those out there who will be out there with chainsaws and the like to do what needs doing over the next 72 hours. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to our MEMA director, Don Brantley.
Thank you, Governor Healey. As we prepare for these blizzard conditions, I want to focus today on what we at the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency are doing and what residents should be doing to stay safe. MEMA has been actively coordinating with state agencies, local emergency managers, utilities, and public safety partners over the past several days. We've worked closely with the Executive Office of Public Safety and Security, Governor Healey, and Lieutenant Governor Driscoll to prepare a declaration of a state of emergency to ensure that we have every tool available to respond quickly and effectively. Earlier this morning, MEMA hosted a statewide coordination call with local emergency management directors to review the latest operational updates and confirm readiness actions that are already underway. This ensures that every community from Western Massachusetts to the Cape and Islands has full situational awareness to support their event response planning and preparedness. At Governor Healey's direction, we will activate the State Emergency Operations Center here at MEMA headquarters later tonight, and we are prepared to staff shifts throughout the duration of this event and through any recovery efforts. Many of our emergency support function partners, including some represented here at the podium, will support the activation, facilitating rapid communication and coordination among public safety, transportation, public health, utilities, fire service, environmental protection, sheltering, and others. Beginning at 7 a.m. Monday, MEMA's regional emergency operations centers in Agawam, Tewksbury, and Franklin will also activate. All 4 of the governor's emergency operations centers will monitor conditions in real time, coordinate resource deployment and state response actions, and support municipal needs as requested. Southeast Massachusetts is expected to see some of the most significant impacts from this storm. So, at their request, MEMA will deploy one of our local coordinators to the Barnstable County Multi-Agency Coordination Center to provide on-site support for emergency management officials throughout the Cape. The state EOC's focus is clear: rapid coordination, proactive outreach, and fast support to communities that need assistance. We are preparing for the possibility of significant power outages, hazardous travel, and coastal impacts. But for residents, now is the time for you to act. Finalize your emergency plans today, and for nor'easter and coastal storm safety tips, go to MEMA's website at mass.gov/MEMA or follow us on social media. And together, we are prepared and we're ready to support the people of Massachusetts. I'll now turn it over to Transportation Secretary and MBTA General Manager Phil Ng.
Thank you, Director Brantley. It's worth repeating what Governor Healey and Director Brantley said. This storm that is approaching this evening, all through Monday, is a blizzard-type storm. That means it's going to hit Massachusetts hard across the state. It means, as the governor said, gusts up to 75 miles an hour, but a blizzard means strong, sustained winds throughout the storm as well. The governor referenced the snowfall rates, 1 to 3 inches, possibly greater, I'm hearing in some cases. That is poor to zero visibility, possibly whiteout conditions. So, as both have said, we strongly encourage do not travel unless you have to and you have no choice. If it's essential travel, check to see if perhaps you could reschedule. We really recommend people stay home during this snow event. This allows the men and women of both MassDOT, the MBTA, and all our state agencies and municipal partners the opportunity to actually be out there and clear the roads, not only today, but into the week. As we know, with record snowfalls, we will have a lot of cleanup to do post-storm. This is not one that we want to take lightly, and we want everyone to realize that they need to take this very seriously. It's for your own benefit. It's for the benefit of our employees and our emergency responders. We want everyone to stay home and be safe while our folks are out doing what they need to do to ensure that when you do travel, you can do so safely as well. A few other things. If you do have to travel at all, give yourself extra time. Whether it's walking, driving, or taking mass transit, you should really give yourself that extra allotted time because it may appear clear in one area, but it doesn't mean it's clear throughout your whole travel plans. The other thing to keep aware, our RMV offices will be closed tomorrow. Road tests will be canceled due to the storm. You should check the website should you have any scheduled road tests for Tuesday as well, because there will still be a lot of cleanup, so there is likely to be cancellations on road tests on Tuesday. I know anybody thinking of traveling via our airlines, there's been a lot of cancellations to date. I think you should check with your airlines, check with Logan Airport, and really check to make sure that those flights are scheduled. Most likely many of them, if not all, will be canceled tomorrow. With MassDOT, MBTA, check our websites. We'll give you continuous updates. With that, I'll turn it over to Jonathan Gulliver, Undersecretary of Transportation and Highway Administrator, to talk about MassDOT and highway responses. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Phil. So I want to stress, you've heard it a number of times now about how bad this storm is. We've had a little bit more than a normal winter so far, and we've had a couple of really bad storms, including one a few weeks ago. If this holds, or if our forecast currently holds, this storm is going to make you forget about those last ones. This is a serious storm. As you've heard, the governor has declared a state of emergency in advance of the storm, and this reflects the seriousness of this forecast and the difficulty of which we're going to have managing the storm. The kind of snowfall rates that we've had or we're expecting make road conditions deteriorate very, very quickly. I'm confident our team is going to handle the storm with the same discipline and professionalism that they've demonstrated throughout the last event, but again, travel is going to be difficult at the height of this storm. We are expecting a full call-out for the duration, which means that we're going to have about 3,000 pieces of snow and ice fighting equipment deployed throughout the state to make sure that roads stay safe. Pre-treatment operations have been completed, especially on our priority corridors, places like bridges and other typical trouble spots. And our snow and ice equipment is fueled up and staged right now for quick deployment, so we are ready to go as soon as this hits. A note about salt. Our salt supplies are also full, so we have plenty of material on hand to deal with whatever the conditions are. So again, I want to touch on roadway conditions. They are expected to deteriorate quickly at the peak of this storm. When you get the type of rates that we're expecting, 2-3 inches or more per hour, it is impossible for snowplows to keep up. So it will take time, once that snow rate starts happening, for roads to get cleared again. The most dangerous travel conditions right now that we're expecting will be in the early morning hours into tomorrow, late morning. So just if you are going to be on the roads, be advised that that will be the most difficult time to travel during this significant event. During that period, roadways are expected to be snow covered, and response times will increase. We expect that gradual improvements will happen late tomorrow afternoon and as the snowfall tapers off, but this is also the kind of storm where you're going to have a long cleanup period. So highways will be down to pavement, I expect, about 3 or 4 hours after the storm ends, and we will certainly be ready for the Tuesday commute. But there is significant cleanup that's going to be required throughout the week on secondary roads and especially local roads. Because of the snowfall that we have already on the ground, there is not a lot of places that this snow can be put, which means that we are in a removal operation as well as those cities and towns. So you can expect to see snow and ice equipment on the roadways for some time after this event is done. I want to be clear about the travel warning that we put into place. Non-emergency vehicles should stay off the roads as much as possible. This is not the type of storm that you should be out and about on. If you do not absolutely need to be traveling, you should not travel. Conditions will be dangerous, especially in those hours that I just mentioned, and staying off the roads is the safest choice for you and our crews. A commercial vehicle restriction will take effect today at 5 p.m. That's something that we just pushed out a little while ago. That means that tractor trailers, box trucks, tandems, empties, the typical ones like we did last time are going to be restricted from travel from 5 p.m. until this storm is over. We'll lift that when conditions improve. And again, this is going to be a difficult storm for those vehicles. The reasons that we put that in place is that a jackknife tractor trailer means that highway conditions behind that tractor trailer are impossible to catch up with and could cause prolonged closure. So if your job allows it, again, we encourage you to work remotely, and employers should plan accordingly with that. I do want to talk about the snow and ice equipment. As you've heard, we want to make sure that you give them space. You've heard me say this numerous times. Don't plow the crowd. Don't crowd the plow. Said it too much, I guess. Stay well away from those plows, and really don't attempt to pass them. We see this happen every kind of storm that we have, that people will attempt to get in front of the plows. The conditions behind those plows after they've scraped down the roadways are always going to be better than what is in front of them, and you should make sure that you travel behind them. I do want to recognize, as you've heard, that we have crews that are going to be working throughout this event, really long hours. Our people are professionals. They're going to be working the shifts through tonight and into tomorrow. This is very difficult work in challenging conditions, and they take tremendous pride in the work that they do in keeping the Commonwealth moving, so we really do thank them. We have built one of the strongest winter weather response teams in the country. Our team takes a lot of pride in what they do. We are ready for this storm. They're going to approach it again with the same discipline and professionalism that we demonstrated during the last storm. There will be some cleanup remaining, but as I said, I expect that based on what we're seeing right now, I expect that our highways are going to be safe and ready for regular travel by Tuesday morning's commute again, but it's going to take some time for that fuller cleanup of those local roadways and secondary roadways, and people should continue to use caution, especially on those entrance and on-ramps where those transitions happen. With that cold weather settling in, we can expect there's going to be some icy conditions, especially in the morning on Tuesday and throughout each morning this week. We are really asking the public to partner with us. Stay off the roads unless you absolutely must be on there, and work remotely if possible, and really give the space to our crews to maneuver and get the roads clear for their safety. And together we can get through this storm safely and efficiently. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Ryan Colan, the COO of the MBTA, to talk about their response. Thank you.
Good afternoon, folks. So I'm going to speak about what the MBTA has done to prepare for this coming snow event, and also I will talk about what service will look like for tomorrow, Monday. So I often get to talk about our snow plan and how we plan to attack every winter in response to the previous snow events for what's been one of the snowiest Januaries that I can recall, all the way into February. We've already started to evolve our snow and ice plan to take lessons learned from previous snow events, whether it's the one from a month ago or even just last week. So in response to that, we've been able to pre-deploy lots of heavy equipment, rail-borne jet snow blowers to keep our critical interlockings clear. We've also been able to install just about a dozen switch crib heaters to further enable us to fight snow at those critical switch locations where trains either come in and out of yards, to come into service, or cross tracks. So we are certainly prepared to go into this storm and give it 110% to keep our lines open. We don't have any staffing concerns right now. We have all hands on deck to attack this incoming weather event, which I do just want to echo everything that's been said prior to me standing here before you. This storm is the real deal. When you operate a transportation system, these are the storms that you start to watch build and build as the week goes on, and these are the storms that we prepare for. But I urge all folks, unless your travel is absolutely necessary, I urge folks to stay home, stay off the roads, and let all of us get out there so we can get things opened back up and resume normal service. So with that, I'll talk about service for the MBTA. From Monday, we are implementing our emergency schedules across all the modes of transportation, including commuter rail. So that means our storm schedules for the commuter rail system and the emergency schedules for our transit system, our subways, our buses. That's essentially weekend level service. Headways will stretch up anywhere from 10 to 20 minutes, depending on where exactly you are. But we urge folks to use mbta.com and the MBTA Go app to get the latest service updates. We're going to maintain that posture all the way through the service day of Monday. Also on Monday, we expect the Mattapan high-speed line will be operated via substitute bus service for the duration of the day Monday. So folks will still have options to get to where they need to go. Our ferry service on Monday, all ferry routes will be suspended. And this is not so much due to the snow, but with the winds that are forecasted for this event, the wind speeds and the wind direction, we're making the decision to suspend all MBTA ferry services for Monday. Our paratransit services, we urge all of our paratransit customers to use the time available today to call your providers and see if they are actually intending on being available for you on Monday. Just like any other vehicle, we want to keep our vehicles off the road as much as possible. We're there to get you to anything critical, but again, we urge you to make contact with your destinations to make sure they're going to be available for you on Monday. With all that being said, we're going to work around the clock for the next 2 days to make sure that we can stay ahead of and then, of course, clean up from this storm. Right now, we're not ruling out the possibilities of adjusting service schedules for Tuesday, depending on the actual duration of this storm event. Right now, forecasted to take us into Monday evening, and like you've heard, we all need time to clean our parking lots, clean our stations, clean our facilities so that we can run dependable service back to a regular schedule. So please stay tuned, check back often, mbta.com, and use the MBTA Go app, and we'll keep you updated about what to expect for service on Tuesday. With that, I'd like to introduce Secretary Tepper.
Good afternoon. We are in touch constantly over the last 2 days with utilities and will be in regular contact with them throughout the next few days. Their teams are prepared and activated ahead of the storm. As others have said, we are expecting windy conditions and wet snow, and there is already snow on the trees. These conditions increase the likelihood of power outages due to the risk of falling trees. We are expecting significant outages in this storm, and it may take multiple days to restore power. The utilities have pre-staged additional line and tree crews on the Cape, Martha's Vineyard, Nantucket, and other areas expected to receive the greatest impact. If you lose power, contact your utility. If you see a downed wire, I can't say this enough, if you see a downed wire, you have to assume it's live Do not touch it. Call 911 immediately. Likewise, if you see a tree that has a wire on it, stay away from the tree because, again, the wire could be live. We're also closely monitoring coastal flooding. We don't anticipate right now any problems with fuel supply. I do want to take a moment to thank all the utility workers who are going to be out working this storm and for the many who are already staged. It has been a tough winter, and you have performed admirably to keep the lights on and our homes warm. A little bit about DCR. The team also is preparing for a storm response. DCR will have more than 250 staff and 350 pieces of equipment available during this storm. They will prioritize clearing primary roads, state police barracks, traffic bridges, potential flood zones, and pathways near school and public transportation. Like other agencies, many of the DCR facilities will be closed and activities canceled tomorrow. We are very grateful for the DCR's operations team who will be out during the storm. With that, I'll invite the governor back.
Thank you, Secretary. We're happy to take any questions. All set? All set. All right. Take care, everybody. Be safe, be smart, and look out for your neighbors. Take care.